Hey everyone, it's Jeannie King. It is day 13 of our 30-day money game. Do you realize we only have 17 more days? And that may seem like a lot, but you know how quickly these first 13 went. So I am so glad you're here. I love all the sharing that everyone is doing. We have got such a great group of people. Plus, I have people texting me and calling me on the side and just reporting all kinds of great things. But a lot of it is self-love. A lot of it is self-worthiness too. Do I deserve that? Do I have that? And so, do I deserve to have that? And I want you to look back on yourself as a child. It never occurred to you when you were a little kid if you wanted a popsicle or you wanted, your mom or dad to take you to the movies or Six Flags or whatever. You didn't keep asking and asking. You knew that your parents loved you. And so it's the same way with God. If we're asking God for certain outcomes, just assume that a loving God has heard you and is always saying, yes, that's the way it works. And so Dr. Joe Dispenza said, you can think about it like this is the mind of God. I saw him in Dallas after he had been in the movie The Secret, so it's been a while. But anyhow, he said, just imagine that this is the mind of God, and it's like a light, and it's always yes. And we're like, but I don't understand that because I ask for certain things or, sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down, sometimes it happens. And he said, it's not the mind of God, it's us. We're changing our minds. So you can imagine like this is the mind of God. And so it's like back and forth, back and forth. So it's like, we're up, we're down, we're happy, we're sick, we're poor, we're rich. And on, can I have it, can't I have it, yes, no, yes, no. And every time it goes back and forth, the mind of God says, yes, 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 yes. Well, that's why we get different results. And this is why we are doing this money game, is to retrain our minds into saying, I'm worthy, I can have it, I know God has heard me, and I need to act accordingly. I can tell you that when my son was little, if he had asked me, and sometimes he did, hey mom, can we go to, Splash Town or Six Flags or whatever? And, and I said yes. And, oh, can I bring my little friends? Well, yeah, you can bring your friends. He didn't keep asking me, are you sure, mom? The next day, are you sure we're going? I know you said we were going, but when are we going? And maybe you've changed your mind. And it was like, that would have driven me crazy. And I would have gotten so pissed off. Of course, I'm not God, but I would have just gotten so aggravated. I would have said, well, just forget it. If you don't believe that I'm going to do what you asked me to do, why should I make arrangements for you? So it's the same way with God. If we are asking for more abundance, if we are asking for our minds to be changed, and we are asking for different results, remember that God always says yes, but we're the ones who change up and down, poor and rich, da-da-da. I just was talking to a friend of mine, and she's in the money game too, and she is all into ease and joy, and I love that. I love it because why shouldn't we be relaxed about this thing? I have a couple who's playing who are magnificent creators, and they are creating a new home on the East Coast. They're in the upper Northwest, and they're packing their place. And she called me last night, and we talked about it, and she said, we've just had a number of really great demonstrations, and it's like they're acting as if this was true, and I know it is true. Also, our own Misty said that she is doing 200 days of meditation. One of the things that Joe Dispenza said is that once have you ever driven home and you get in the driveway and you go, I don't even remember how I got here? Well, yeah, because we're in that zone there, or sitting in front of a TV or watching something, and we are just like spellbound. But who the hell knows what's actually going on? We don't, because we're zoned out. But what he says is that's the beauty of having meditation, is that we still our minds, and the mind of God says, yes, we're open to receive. Yes. And so if we are driving home and we're, in our minds and talking about, well, that so-and-so at work did me this and that and da-da-da-da-da and I'm not going to put up with that and so on and so forth. And we are in that zone and that mind is stilled, and the universal mind of God says, well, yeah, that's right. So we are not being punished. We're not being rewarded. We are calling the shots. This is why it is so important to pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to what you are thinking, what you are feeling, what you are focused on. Attention, energy flows where attention goes. And paying attention to anything is a big fat yes. So, think about your money game. Think about how you're talking about it. Think about how you're thinking about it. And let's just put this into high gear. So I want to tell you, with my $13,000, yesterday I told you that we were building a carport, a double carport. That's going to be about $20,000. And I took $7,000 and ordered some of the materials. And then today I took $13,000 and paid it off. Zero balance. So how about that? What are you doing? And I've had some vibrant discussions too with people saying, oh, well, I like to give to charity and stuff. And honest to God, I don't have a problem with giving to charity or helping someone out. But what I want you to remember is don't forget yourself. If you've ever been on an airplane, they say, in case of cabin pressure, diminishing, the mask will fall down. Put your mask on first before you try to help someone else. So put your own money game into high gear, and then through your example, and then through your own minds and your word, you can have new differences. So tomorrow's day 14. We're going to have $14,000 to spend and receive. Just keep it flowing, okay? Because you are definitely worthy, and God has your back, and God always says yes. Share with us what's going on. See you tomorrow.